everybody. This is Kevin. I'm back with segment number 2 of episode number 81 of Kevin's Corner, real estate from a marketing perspective. We heard from Cameron from Emerson Property Management in the first segment, and now we've got whom I call the bearded inspector. Dustin is here from First Rate Inspections. Do your thing.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kevin.
This is probably the third or fourth time you've been on the podcast since I started doing this.
Yep.
So pretty much everybody knows who Dustin is and what First Rate does because he's at most of my events or classes and things. So you guys are the sponsor for the happy hour and monthly happy hour. And we just basically support each other every month on what we need to do and things like that. So we're going to take the time for this particular episode of the podcast to talk to everybody about what is new and happening in with First Rate.
Yeah, so moving right past what is an inspection and getting into all the add-ons. You know, what are the additional services that sometimes may be necessary during the home buying process? We often get asked, you know, what do you do? Do y'all do this? And when we spark enough demand from our clientele and we're able to track that demand, we bring those services in-house. Mm-hmm. So most recently we've added in as part of our service whole home generators, doing the inspections and performance procedures on those to make sure that they are fully functional, they're working, they kick on when they're supposed to, kick off when they're supposed to. We've also included in our new inspection services solar inspections. Not simply just looking at panels and saying, yep, they're there, but if they're installed properly, if they meet code requirements, mm-hmm. if they're producing, and to what level they're producing, so that when a client does move in, they have the knowledge that their systems are performing as they were intended to, mm-hmm. what power output they're going to get from their solar system, how long they're going to last. We provide that in a 4 or 5 page documented report, and it comes with a certified guarantee of performance.
It's funny you mentioned solar because I just met and partnered with a new vendor, Triple C Roofing, Lance Edwards. Mm-hmm. He does solar. So, you know, solar is one of those things that people either like it or they don't, and at least in my experience.
Yeah.
And now that you've added those to your guys' list of what you do, you had to go get certified for those particular new certifications? Yeah,
that's correct.
Okay.
Doing so allows us to be able to offer that service without hesitation. Mm-hmm. You know, someone asks a question, we want to make sure that our entire team is knowledgeable and skilled to be able to answer those questions and give them the guidance they need. I know, to your point, with solar, it's either we love it or we hate it. And a lot of the agents out there, they dislike it so much because of the convoluted processes and the information that's given to them during the transaction. Mm-hmm. But we're set up in a way that we're able to we can assess the solar system, if you will, from a standpoint of is it leased to owned? Is it rented? Does it have a 30-year note? Is it owned outright? Mm-hmm. And those different areas will tell us how to assess the equipment properly and give them the best assessment properly.
How long does it take to do a solar panel inspection in a house?
Given the access, between 30 and 45 minutes. Could take a little bit longer if it's on a 2-story roof with a high pitch, but it's relatively easy and it's not a huge add-on for what we're already doing during the inspection.
And you said huge add-on, so they can add it on to another inspection they're doing, or can they get it also separately?
Yeah, they can do it as a separate inspection, that like just a standalone. Homeowners who have solar and they just want to know, hey, how well is my system truly performing? Mm-hmm. We have the data to be able to tell them what it's doing in a right now scenario. So if they want to do it as a standalone service, we can do that, and we can also do it as an add-on to the regular home inspection.
What was the other one you said you guys do now?
Generator inspections.
Generator, that's right. So you don't install them, you inspect them.
We have vendors for that. So yeah, any service we bring on, we want to make sure that we have vendors who can support a need. So if there is if there's a generator that's not performing correctly or it needs maintenance, we have vendors that we can lean on to go and make those repairs much quicker than trying to call Generac.
And this is not plug-in gas-powered generators. These are generators that are connected to the house through the propane or the gas that runs the whole house.
Correct.
The ones that they're not portable.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was not able to put a Generac on my house because I don't have anything. There's no gas.
Right. Yeah. There's some. There are things you can always do, but
Well,
within
I could have had gas propane installed, but there's another $25,000.
Right. Yeah. You're always limited to the confines of what the city will allow or what your pocketbook will.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Any other new services you guys going to do for 2025?
Yeah, we have actually got myself and 4 of our other inspectors sitting for ICC certification by the end of this month. So that'll allow us to open the doors to new opportunities with new construction homes, specifically to lenders doing code inspections. When someone needs a specific document filled out from a lender and it has to be done by what is considered a fee inspector, that work can then be passed on through us, not just as a home inspection company, but as an IRC certified code inspector.
Okay. So you can do that as well. Wow.
Correct. Yeah.
So is there anything that you guys don't do? You don't inspect?
No.
I mean, you're getting up to the point where there's not going to be too many more certifications you can get.
Right. Yeah. We try to shake the tree every year and like, all right, what's fallen out and what makes sense to move into. And we've just gotten to the point where we want to stand by our mantra. And when we tell someone we are your one-stop shop home inspection company, I don't want to ever have to answer the phone. And when someone says, do you do this? I always want to say yes.
Of course.
And
yeah.
so the answer will always be yes. And if that means we're going to do it and be present and bring in one of our vendors to support, the possibility and opportunity is always there.
Okay. So from a services standpoint, those are the new things that you guys are going to be doing this year. You're also, to the best of my knowledge, the only inspection company that offers any kind of real education for real estate agents to not only help agents understand the inspection process and all kinds of different areas of it, but at the same time help them keep their license current. So, because you've been teaching for me for years, and what are some of the new classes you guys are going to be offering this year?
So we just submitted to TREC for review 3 classes, one on solar and its effect on the real estate transaction, one on clandestine testing. Clandestine testing will cover everything pharmaceutical. And for those of you at home, yes, that is meth testing. We do that service as well.
I was going to ask.
And so those are 2. And then the third one that we just got done, actually just submitted this morning, is for waterfront living. And that'll cover everything from rivers, lakefront properties, coastal dwellings, and everything in between. So if it's effectively in a FEMA flood zone or attached or associated with a river authority, we have a class that's focused on bringing education to what type of unique inspections are done, how they're done, the qualifications to stand behind, all of those things.
And I imagine being near water, whatever type of water it is, there's probably different types of things that affect the home being that close to water that you're probably going to highlight when you do those kinds of things.
Yes. Yeah. There's water, as we all know, can play a huge effect on on property. And so during the real estate transaction, that can often be something that people may overlook and just thinking like, oh, I'm just going to get a home inspection done. And, coastal, we're down in Galveston quite often, and it's not odd to find an HVAC system that's completely rusted out, just destroyed by salt water. And, it's a huge expense to replace an outdoor condenser and all your copper plumbing. I mean, you're talking at a minimum $6,500 to get back rolling again.
I want to know who to hire because mine was $8,000.
Yeah.
I'd from inside, outside, nut to every tube, every nut, every bolt, replaced it everything a couple of years ago. It was $8,000.
Yeah. I got vendors for that.
I'm calling the wrong people.
That's my shameless plug.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about this podcast is a little bit about marketing and stuff. So tell everybody a little bit about how they can find you guys, where you are, what you do to grow your business, what you go to generate leads, other than helping educate real estate agents.
Yeah, so we have 2 office locations, one in Jersey Village and one in Cypress. And we're all over social media. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I think we even have a LinkedIn account. I'm supposed to manage it, but I don't. But we're all over the socials. And then every opportunity within our means that comes our way, as far as presentations, lunch meetings, CE classes, we're always trying to be out and about within the community. Sometimes it's not about education. Sometimes it's just about relationships. We want to do business with people who want to do business with us, and doing business with us means doing good business. So we always try to get out and meet, mingle, shake hands, interact with everyone within our sphere of influence, and meeting new people and bringing them into that sphere is what it's really all about. Yeah.
And you guys also have a website where I know that you can go to if you're an agent looking for CE credits and classes. You have a section on your website. I think it's called education.
Yep. If you visit our website, that's at firstrateinspections.com. There's a tab up in the corner that says Realtor Education, and that is updated live. Every class that we host, whether it be with a title company, a brokerage, in our office, there'll be a time, a date, an address, where it is, what the class is about, and agents can go on there and find out where the next education is going to be held.
And by the way, this podcast will be available late this weekend or next week. And Tuesday, you have a class that you're doing for me here that I have to look, but I think it's already full.
Yeah, so, I believe so.
Yeah. So, which would be the 14th?
Yes, sir.
14th. So if you're an agent, you're looking for CE credits this early in the year, I think it's at 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Here at the Stewart Title Sugarland office. Come on by. Get yourself that's 1 hour CE credit.
That'll be a 1 hour.
Heating systems, right?
Yes, sir.
Heating systems. Okay. What about I know those are the new things that are coming up and everything. Is there anything that you or First Rate Inspections has got coming up for the new year that you guys haven't implemented or haven't? You're thinking about it, but it's not something you started working on yet that you can talk about?
Ooh. It's a loaded question.
It is. It's loaded, but it's necessary.
Yeah, there's
Give them a hint.
Yeah. Essentially, what we're gonna soft launch is we did an impact study on this with another home inspection company not in our market, and it worked really well. So what we're gonna implement and we're soft launching is a virtual tour, essentially, of the home while the inspection is being done, and then that'll be delivered to the client. And then a lot of times clients can't meet us at the inspection, or agents inform them not to come because they don't want them interfering with the inspection process, which is understandable. We like our clients to come. We want them to be part of the inspection and ask questions and have input and give feedback. So we're not against it one way or the other. But what we found is that interaction, that communication piece was missing with, COVID kind of killed the whole let me be involved and let me be part of everything. And people just got used to that. Like, we're hands off. We don't need to be there. So to reintroduce that, what we're doing is giving them the opportunity to then find us on our Zoom channel and come in and say, okay, I'm here to meet with Inspector A, whether it be our inspector, Eligio, Robbie, Corey, whoever it may be. They go in there and select their inspector, and they wait in their queue, and then they get personal hands-on, face-to-face time with their inspector to go over their report.
Oh, wow.
That way it's more personalized. They can ask the questions they need to. It's all recorded, so everything that's transcribed through that conversation is put in a script, and then we can send them that for notation for later on if they need to refer back to it.
So this is with the person that's actually purchasing the home.
Correct.
Not the agent representing them, the actual.
Yeah, if the agent wants to be present, because of its unique format and the way that we're doing it, we will only send the links to the client. And if the client decides that they're going to get on and they want to have their agent invited, they can then share the link with their agent.
Okay.
Because we want it to be focused on the client's needs.
Of course. Yeah. Wow. Technology.
Yeah, it's come a long way.
I know. Wow. Okay, so let's, as we wrap up the podcast, let's tell everybody how to get hold of you.
Yeah, so first is our website. That's the easiest way to get a hold of us and message us by email. Our website is 1strateinspections with an S.com, firstrateinspections.com. Or you can reach us by phone at 832-567-5791. Or you can get us by email by emailing clientcare@firstrateinspections.com.
You said you had 2 offices, one in Cypress and one in Jersey Village.
That's correct.
And you're on all major social media platforms.
Yes, sir.
How do they? Is it just search First Rate Inspections?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, pretty easy. So if you're a real estate agent and you're watching the podcast and you need a inspector, Dustin in First Rate Inspections, I've been working with you guys since before you were in charge.
A long time.
A long time. I mean, probably 2015 or 16. So if he's still hanging out with me, then he's still doing a good job. So there's no reason to question it, because you guys know how I am about the vendors I work with. So give me your phone number one more time.
Yeah, our office number is 832-567-5791.
If you need education, you have questions, give him a call. He'll always have the beard. So, So you guys, this is episode number 81 of Kevin's Korner Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. Really appreciate you guys listening and tuning in. I'm hoping to hit 100 episodes before the middle of the year. So wish me luck. That's only 19 more episodes. I should be able to do that. I always want to say, if you are a agent or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area and you want to be on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527. And I always want to thank Jennifer Smitus, Caitlin Cornick, Devin, Kate Cannon, and all of our support teams here, both in my Richmond and Sugar Land office. Couldn't do the podcast if it wasn't for you guys. There's a couple surprises coming up for Stewart Title, Sugar Land, and Richmond in the future. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but they speak Spanish and they speak Asian. So stay tuned. And like I always say, if you need title and you're not using Stewart Title, shame on you. You guys have a nice weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.